So we're here at the Future of Web Apps London 2010, and I'm with Francisco Tolmasky. Tell us a little about yourself. Like, where do you come from? What's your background?
I've been writing web software and specifically tools for web software for the last 2 years. Before that, I worked at Apple. I was on the iPhone team and worked on mobile Safari.
You're on the iPhone team. No big deal. Worked on mobile Safari. Now, you were telling me at dinner last night that you're actually like the lone guy that made Safari 1.0. Is that right?
Yeah, so I guess when I got there, I think WebKit could only show text. So my task number one was images or something, if I remember correctly. And so the way the team was like 5 people, and everyone kind of owned an app. And of course, like if one app needed more work, like someone else would come on board. But by the time I left, I was the Safari guy. And
so then you left Apple and you started 280 North. And actually more recently, it got acquired by Motorola. What was that whole journey like starting it to now?
It was great. I mean, I really enjoyed the startup life. Certainly different than working at Apple. I really liked the ability to like experiment. I think we tried some pretty revolutionary stuff, and I'm pretty happy with the whole experience. I think the products we made people liked, and I think that was the best part. So
in your talk, you kind of talked about the revolution in mobile happening in native apps. Why do you think it went to native apps and not to the mobile web?
Again, I think it was this combination of one, perhaps the performance not being there, perhaps. 2, more importantly, whether the performance is there or not, the fact that you have absolutely no tools to like make it better, right? Like it's just kind of, I wonder if this will be faster. No, it's not. I got to try something else. So kind of the lack of tools certainly makes it harder to produce a web app of the same caliber and the same quality as a native app. Additionally, it's simply the case that we don't have the same features in web as we do on native, right? We don't have like gyroscope or whatever. We don't have access to the user's contacts and all sorts of different things.
Right. So do you think that's going to change in the future? Do you think a lot more mobile tools will come along to help development like Firebug and stuff like that?
Yeah, I definitely think that the tools end of it is the easiest part of the problem. I think that someone will realize that, again, there's a market opportunity there and put something together for people. I also think that someone will figure out something clever with tools. The same way it happened with the desktop, right? It's not that like the browser vendors originally realized that, hey, people need JavaScript tools. It's that people on the outside said, hey, we need JavaScript tools. They kind of found a way to force it into Firefox. And then once everyone's like, oh, right, this is a good idea, then kind of all the browsers got ramped up and started competing against each other with tools, right? Like the Safari Inspector versus the Firefox tools or whatever. So I think that that's definitely going to take place in the mobile web world. When? I'm not sure. Hopefully sooner rather than later. As to actually getting the same features on the mobile web as native mobile, I can't say, because that's not really an organic thing, right? It's just when Apple or Android or Google or whoever decides to add these features that it happens. And unfortunately, that's not necessarily a function of how long it takes to write the feature. It's internal politics and what bug is more important than what other bug internally and so forth. So.
Well, very cool, man. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.